Good evening, fam. It's your boy Kev from Novelty TV, powered by the universe, as I like to say. And I have a very special presentation for y'all. This is Jim Jones Decoded. Now, I wanted to just go a little bit deeper into the mind of this Jim Jones guy. As you all know, on November 18th of 1978, he led a massacre killing over 900 people in my personal hometown of Jonestown, Guyana. And I've been studying astrology for about roughly like 8 months now, I would say, like really actually like live studying it. I've been reading books upon it. I've always been like a learner of sort. I am a natural like learner, like I research stuff or whatever. But 8 months I've been studying astrology, and I figured let me hit this topic of Jim Jones and this guy, go a little deeper into the mind of Jim Jones. And I'm not gonna lie, this live stream wasn't, so I'm just gonna be honest. I got a lot of personal shit going on, you know, but I am here. Novelty TV, I am here. And I'm working for myself, and I'm also working for the people. My mom told me she was gonna have a couple people checking out the live. I started a little late. It's 11:51. That's like late. But it is what it is, you know. I gotta be a better boss of my brand and, you know, just be a better boss, you know. But let me start. Man, right now, the new moon is happening and things are all over the place. Yeah. But back to Jim Jones. Now, I am going to read a quick biography. My bad, had a technical glitch just now. But I am about to promote that I'm live for everybody real quick and all that. Facebook. Let me just promote real quick that I'm live for the people. See that? I'm gonna keep going. I was gonna delete this shit because I'm fixing my chair. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I was gonna delete this and start all over again, but fuck it. I'm not deleting shit. I am about to promote that I'm live. I haven't been on for a while, but trust, I'm still working on, you know, everything else, life, working on bettering myself, bettering Novelty TV. So I'm about to promote that I'm live real quick. As y'all know, I am a perfectionist. I kind of have some perfectionist tendencies. But I'm about to promote that I'm live for the family. Wherever you're watching this, I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Yeah. Let me see something real quick. Let me turn off this music. Hold on. I should get an intro. Random thoughts. But yes, the Jonestown Massacre, a very horrible thing that occurred on November the 18th. Today's anniversary. Like roughly 4 hours ago, I checked I checked like CNN and a couple other news broadcast stations, and nobody was playing the anniversary. They usually play it. I don't know if I'm tripping, but I didn't see it on any news broadcast. But it's definitely a major thing. Definitely a tragedy. Now, I want to talk, before I dive into the topic of Jim Jones, I want to talk about the gift of astrology. Now, seriously, I've been studying this roughly for about 8 months. I got one person. What's good to that one person? I've been studying astrology for roughly 8 months now. And I want to just be open about my philosophy, how I feel about astrology. I feel it's a gift. You know, I haven't done the research as to, like, hey, this guy, this woman made astrology. I'm not there yet as far as the research, as far as, who created this. I just want to, let me make a little minute about the naysayers of astrology and people who think astrology is bullshit. Me personally, I don't think it's bullshit at all. I mean, it's too intricate of a science. It's too complex of a science. It's also very detailed as a science to, anybody to just chalk up astrology being, BS. That's my opinion. But I know the people who probably think it's BS are the people who probably haven't took the proper steps in order to, understand astrology and understand what's going on. Hey, I got one like and I got one viewer. What's up to that one viewer? I am here. Novelty TV is here. I am back. But yeah, this is going to be part 1. Because what I'm going to do for, what I'm going to do for y'all? I'm going to break down Jim Jones' whole natal chart for you guys. I'm going to do it as a lesson for myself. But I'm also going to do it for y'all, because I got to get better with reading natal charts. Hey, what's good, Tay? I got to get better at reading natal charts, because I've looked at a couple other natal charts, and I have a really weird natal chart. Like, family, my natal chart it's literally Aries. It's literally as the constellation goes. It's like Aries is the first, Pisces is the 12th. It's literally the zodiac in order. So, according to my energetics, my astrology energetics, I have a very natural chart, and seeing other people's chart is really, really weird. But that's my job right now. I have to, decode what's going on as far as the energetics of another person's natal chart. But my chart is just really, really weird for whatever reason. I have a natural chart, which means I should kind of have like a natural success. And I am going to have a natural success at things, if I may say so myself. So that's what I have to do. That's my job. Bringing other people's natal charts, even though they look so funny. Because let me actually bring up Jim Jones' natal chart right now for y'all and show y'all. But yes, I have a natural natal chart. The zodiac signs are literally as they come, with Aries, being the first house. Yeah. Let me pull up Jim Jones' natal chart for y'all real quick. Japan. Alright, let me show y'all what Jim Jones got going on. Well, first, let me show you this really hideous picture of the guy. So yeah, as you guys know, I'm working on some music, and I visited Plain Truth Entertainment recording studio a couple days ago. and it felt really comfortable. To be honest, I met Steve Sola. Shout out to Steve Sola. And Steve Sola has recorded with Prodigy of Mobb Deep, a whole bunch of other people. You should check him out. Google Steve Sola, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But I pulled up to the studio. It was real comfortable. I honestly just wanted to catch the vibe of the studio, and I definitely will be recording there. One of my apps just said what? Jesus, I can't pull it up. Can't pull it up because I'm live. But yeah, I visited Steve Sola studio, Plain Truth Entertainment, and I felt right at home. I will definitely be in the building to record some music with Steve Sola in the future. I want to have a track done by Christmas. If that's not the case, then whatever. But let me get comfortable, man. And I want to bring you guys first Jim Jones natal chart. It's kind of confusing. But let's do this. I'm going to bring... This is Jim Jones natal chart. Well, first let me show y'all a picture of the guy real quick. Y'all already know how he looks, but one of my astrology books I was reading, it states that well, you guys, if you're really deep into astrology, you already know this, but for the most part, human beings, according to astrology, they kind of look, their face structures already look how basically according to their placements, if that makes sense to you guys. Like, you know, Venus dominated people are usually very beautiful. You know, deep signs, if y'all own the frequency, y'all already know what I'm talking about. So let me show y'all a picture of Jim Jones real quick. Yeah, this is only part 1. Not sure how many parts it's going to take to decode this, but I'm going to tough it out. I'm going to do it for myself. I'm going to also do it for you guys as a good presentation. You know, I really want to get into this guy's mind and why he just chose to do this. I'm going to give y'all my opinion of the guy as well. Let me show y'all a picture of him. Now, real quick. This is a picture of Jim Jones. Yeah, that's the guy, the head honcho that's responsible for killing over 900 people in Guyana. Now, my astrology people, I just want to pose this real quick question to y'all. Now, by looking at him, what planetary forces you think this guy has either an abundance of, whether he's like dominated by a certain planet, or what planetary influences you think might have had a strong influence on this guy's behavior just by looking at him. What's the first planet you guys can think of when you look at this guy? If this was a first impression, he looks really cold, in my opinion. He looks very stern, very disciplined. You see with the little bow thing, his attire. Look at his attire, how clean he is. With the cut, the glasses, everything is clean. He looks real disciplined down to the sideburns. Check out the sideburns. His overall facial structure, I'm thinking Aries. Probably Aries dominated, but yeah, this guy looks really cold for the most part. Really kind of standoffish, but I'm getting a real cold vibe. A real what else? a real disciplined vibe from this guy. Those are just the energetics that are talking to me right now. So, you guys seen Jim Jones? So you guys seen a picture of Jim Jones. Now let me show y'all his natal chart. Jim Jones natal chart. And let me promote that I am live to my Facebook family. Live right now. Energetics. TTV. Real quick, y'all. I'm just promoting that I'm live. Right now, Jim Jones Astrology. I'm gonna get to business right now, y'all. Let me not show y'all the natal chart at first. Let me just read y'all a quick biography of this guy. Real quick. But yeah, what's going on in the world right now other than this topic? Tory Lanez just dropped another single that's going to be on the album. Wait, did he release what the album will be called yet? I'm not sure, but I don't know if y'all heard I Sip by Tory Lanez is going to be off that new album that he's dropping whenever. That track right there sounds futuristic. Like, I'm buying his album. Like, I'm buying the album. I'm not streaming it. Like, I'm going to pay cash. Probably get the CD. I don't know if he going to do the whole CD. But I'm buying the album regardless of anything. Like the latest track he dropped, I Sip, it sounds so futuristic. The beat is hard as hell. Yeah, shout out to you, Tory Lanez, man. I know you're on a quest. You're on a mission to be one of the greatest musicians alive, and I think you are well on your way to becoming that. Like, such a great track right there, I Sip. So shout out to Tory Lanez. Alright, let me pull up Jim Jones biography. Yeah, man. Alright, Jim Jones. Born on 1931. Speculation that he died 1978. I have to do further research. My mom told me that after the whole thing, the guy kind of went missing. But I read other stories that said he got shot in the stomach. So I have to do a further investigation on his death. But yeah, let me read his biography. All right. Jim Jones is best known as the cult leader of the People's Temple, who led more than 900 followers in a mass suicide via cyanide-laced punch known as the Jonestown Massacre. That's where we would now get the term as drinking the Kool-Aid. You know, basically meaning that you're being a follower. But don't get anything twisted, y'all. I see this guy right here, and I'm looking at power. So he had the power to influence. He had all that. That's what I see. He just basically used a good nature about himself for evil. That's it. So he definitely wasn't one of these average Joe preachers out here. Like, anybody getting 900 plus people to do anything, you got power. So nobody just follows people like that. So I want y'all to know this about him. He had a power to himself. You know, and this is what I want to kind of decode as far as astrology details. Y'all be definitely not dealing with no average Joe, no one of these average preachers out here. He definitely had a power about himself, you know. And Yes, this is his biography. Born on May 13th, 1931, in Crete, near Lynn, Indiana, Jim Jones was a notorious cult leader. As the self-proclaimed messiah of People's Temple religious cult, Jones promised his followers utopia if they followed him. On November 18th, 1978, in what became known as the Jonestown Massacre, Jones led more than 900 men, women, and children to their deaths in a mass suicide via cyanide-laced punch. Yeah. His early life. Right now, I am reading this via. I gotta state my what they call that when you. Let's say I was writing an essay, which I haven't wrote an essay in so long. I might just write a practice essay or write an essay for somebody. I really love English and I haven't been honing into my craft. I got this book. Let me show y'all. Hold up, I got this book for y'all. Hold up, let me show y'all. Hold up. I'm supposed to stop, but I can't. I'm supposed to stop, but I can't. Broken. She said this sweet in I'm back. So yeah, I got this book, English book. I gotta hone in my skills, sentences and paragraphs, the writer's world. I was in some English class studying for whatever. But yeah, I gotta hone in on my English skills. I love English by the way. So yes, back to his biography. Early life. Cult leader James Warren, Jim Jones, was born on 1931, May 13th, in Indiana, and was responsible for the deaths of roughly 900 of his followers. In 1978, what became known as the Jonestown Massacre, he was the son of James Thurman Jones, a disabled World War I veteran, and Lynetta Putnam Jones, who worked a variety of jobs. Jones was largely left to himself as his mother was often working and his father had little interest in him. For years, one of his neighbors often took him to visit her church. Jones began his own religious quest around the age of 10. Okay, so this 10-year-old is nothing wrong with that. So he's starting a religious quest around 10. Okay. He visited churches in the small town of Lynn, where he lived with his family, and befriended a Pentecostal minister for a time. An observant child, Jones began taking what he learned at these different houses of worship and started preaching to other children in the community. He was a strong student, especially in public speaking. I'm going to stop right there. Now, I immediately think of a planet, but that's why this is part 1. Any of my advanced astrologies, as soon as you see the term, any of my advanced astrologers, as soon as you see the term of public speaking, y'all already know what planetary energies come into play. So I'm gonna let y'all. Y'all already know. If you don't know, you're gonna know. This is just part 1. So yes, he started preaching to other children in the community, and he was a strong student, especially in public speaking, but he had few friends. His overpowering religious zest turned off some, and he in turn disliked many typical teenage boy activities such as sports and objected what he believed to be sinful behavior such as dancing or drinking. Goddamn, sounds pretty serious if you ask me. This is right back to his picture. So this is early on. This is the kind of energy that he was giving off early on. Now, at a teenager, you don't like to dance? That's not fishy, but that's a little strange. I mean, I think I was dancing at 10 years old, but I don't know what little youth teenager is not dancing at 10. At 10, you don't got no bills to pay. Life is not rough. You know, you're basically eating and, you know. So at this early age, he objected what he believed as sinful behavior such as dancing and drinking. All right. Now, I'm going to stop again. Now, he was going along the lines of discipline anyway, teaching God's word as he might think in his head. What planetary energies you guys think is of this guy having the theme of discipline? I cannot talk right now for some reason. The theme of discipline. So y'all already know what planet is that. If y'all don't know, y'all will know. All my advanced astrologers right now. Planetary energy of discipline. Alright. After his parents split up, Jones and his mother moved to Richmond, Indiana. There he had a chance to reinvent himself. He worked at a hospital as an orderly where he met Marceline Baldwin, an older nursing student. After graduating early from high school in December 1948, Jones started at Indiana University the following January. He married Marceline after his first term on June 12, 1949. The couple eventually adopted several children. Now, I know that I'm reading this, and I'm just going to say this. Sometimes I have the problem, like if I'm reading something, I'm not, like, analysis is super important, especially when you're reading. Like, analysis is important in everything, but it's really important while you're reading to analyze things. Yes, that's very important, to analyze things. Let me get the definition of analyze. Y'all know me with these words. I'm a locksmith. Now, I already know what analyze means. I just want to get the general definition of the word analyze. Alright. Analyze. I'm on Google right now. I'm looking at the Google definition. According to dictionary.com. Wait, not dictionary.com. Whatever. Analyze. Examine methodically. Examine methodically. I cannot say that word. I'm fucking up words right now. All that. But it is what it is. Hold up. Cause
methodically.
You learn something new every day. I was embarrassed by how I can't pronounce. Well, I now could pronounce it, but it is what it is. Y'all listen to him one more time. What is it?
Methodically.
I am about to bookmark this word and use it to impress some people because I could not pronounce that word just now. I'm about to play it a couple, like 4 more times.
Methodically.
Methodically. Methodically. Because we all know the word method, but you're saying meta. You're not saying method. So that's why I think it was so hard for me to pronounce this now.
Methodically.
Methodically. All right. Back to the word analyze. Examine, methodically, and in detail the constitution or structure of something, especially information, typically for purpose of explanation and interpretation. I'm going to read that one more time. Analyze means to examine methodically and in detail the constitution or structure of something, especially information, typically for purposes of explanation and interpretation. So, yeah, it's important when you read, you gotta analyze at the same time while you read. Damn, I'm at a half an hour and I ain't really even started. Man, boy, I'm at a half an hour. I gotta get better with time, y'all, but I think I'm gonna get better as I start rolling these videos out, because it's almost a half an hour and I ain't really even get into it. Is what it is. Let me stop being a perfectionist. Back to this biography of Jim Jones. Alright. The People's Temple. After years of struggling to find his way, Jones announced that he was entering the ministry in 1952. He got a job as a student pastor at the Somerset Methodist Church. What a coincidence. Methodically. Alright, let me stop. At the Somerset Methodist Church in a poor, predominantly white neighborhood in Indianapolis. By the following year, Jones was making a reputation for himself in the state as a healer and evangelist. Oh, and my mom is texting me while I'm live. Hold up. Yeah, so you know what they need for iPhones? They need like a little, they need something where you just, I know they got it for like if somebody call you, like you could quick like curve them as soon as like they call you to like not answer, but they need something to where you could curve a text. Not curve, because that's my mom texting me and I love my mom, but just kind of like say, hey, I quick can't talk right now, instead of texting it, But hold up, y'all. Alright, I'm back. So, where was I? The People's Temple. He got a job as a student pastor at the Somerset Methodist Church in a poor, predominantly white neighborhood in Indianapolis. By the following year, Jones was making a reputation for himself in the state as a healer and evangelist. I don't know what evangelist means. So y'all know what I'm about to do. Google it. I heard the word before. I know it's going to have kind of like a religious connotation, but I don't know what it means, so I'm about to Google it. Evangelist. Evangelist. A person who seeks to convert others to the Christian faith, especially by public preaching. It's what I thought it would be, according to the context clues. So now I officially know. He was interested in holding racially integrated services, but this interest was not shared by his church. Soon Jones branched out on his own, forming the Wings of Deliverance Church in 1955. The church soon became known as the People's Temple. To help build his following, he bought time on a local AM radio station to air out his sermons. In the mid-1960s, Jones moved his religious group to Northern California. More than 100 church members accompanied Jones to California. They lived in the remote small towns of Ukiah and Redwood Valley. By the early 1970s, Jones had expanded his recruitment efforts. He started preaching in San Francisco, opening up a branch of his church there. With his trademark dark glasses, suits, and slicked backed black hair, Jones was an impressive figure at the pulpit. Pulpit meaning, I guess, preacher stage. So, his fiery rhetoric and remarkable healings continued to draw new members into the fold. Not only did they fall for his talk of a better life, as Jim Jones preached about this utopia, this better life, if they would join in with the People's Temple and, buy into what he was selling. Not only did they fall for his talk of a better life, many surrendered what they had to Jones. What they thought was for the common good actually ended up in Jones' pocket. Sort of like some of these modern day preachers, talk a good game, but they not really for the people at the end of the day. As part of his teachings, Jones discouraged sex and romantic relationships. Alright. Come on. Doesn't like sex? Come on. He, on the other hand, had several adulterous relationships. Snake bastard. So, in one breath, he's telling his followers not to engage in sex or romantic relationships, but he had numerous relationships out of wedlock. Guy's an asshole. Furthermore, including one with the church administrator he had sex with, Carolyn Lynn, with whom he had a son. Jones also claimed to be the father of Grace Stone's son, John Victor. Jones also sought to disrupt familial bonds, positioning himself as the father of all. This guy had a God complex as well as being an asshole. It really takes a lot out of me, because assholes kind of do have the tendency to do that. They kind of take a lot out of you and out of your frequency. But let me get back on frequency. Let me see. Trouble at Jonestown. In 1974, Jones bought land in Guyana to develop into a new home for himself and his new followers. He had become increasingly paranoid and disturbed by this time, and soon moved the People's Temple compound there with about 1,000 people. The compound was known as Jonestown, and it wasn't any tropical paradise. Jones ran the site like a prison camp. His followers received little food and weren't allowed to leave. Armed guards stood at the compound's perimeter. Jones often preached over the loudspeaker system at Jonestown. Fearful of a plot against him, he started conducting suicide drills. His followers were woken up in the middle of the night. They would receive a cup with a red liquid that they were told contained poison, which they were ordered to drink. After 45 minutes or so, the members were told that they were not going to die, that they just had passed the loyalty test. So, now this is where things get interesting now. This guy is... So now I see premeditation. I see a premeditative state that this guy was in, to where he knew that he was going to kill these people. And it just sucks, for the people. It just sucks that they really bought this guy, hook, line, and sinker. They really bought what he was selling, and damn, I'm thinking it really, 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 really sucks that people got drawn into this guy's character, but we're unable to see his true colors. Yeah, it really, really, really sucks. Man, alright. Back on frequency. So they would receive a cup with red liquid, his followers that were woken up in the middle of the night, that they were told contained no poison, which they were ordered to drink. After 45 minutes or so, the members were told that they were not going to die, that they just had passed a loyalty test. Yikes. Man, this is taking a lot out of me. In September 1977, Jones threatened mass suicide to force the Guyanese government from taking action against him. Former People's Temple member Grace Stowen had been asking the government to help her regain custody of her son John Victor. Another ex-member of the group, Deborah Layton Blakely, had been speaking publicly against Jones as well. Finally, in November 1978, Leo J. Ryan, a congressman from California, decided to investigate Jonestown for himself. Wow. So you got this guy. Let me look up the word premeditation. You know what's interesting? My mom, she actually wants me to, she's really interested in the forensic side of life and the forensic science. I might put her onto this Netflix show called Dexter. My older brother, shout out to you, Jizzle, he likes Dexter. Is a show on Netflix about this like psychopath killer, kind of like a narcissistic weirdo that kills people, and it's all premeditation, I guess. But his job, he has a real peculiar job to be a serial killer. He works for law enforcement. So shout out to the show Dexter, man. I'm gonna put my mom on. I think that's a show she might be interested in, since she's so heavy on the forensic side of the game. But let me get the legal definition of premeditation. I know these are terms we say a lot. For me, it's really important to just get the underlining frequency of these words. Like, that's what I like to do. Even common words that we say a lot, I like to get the origin. I want to know all that. Premeditation. Okay. Premeditation is the difference between first and second degree murder. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm getting some really interesting things. Now, for premeditation to be the difference between first and second degree murder. Okay. I'm rolling ball. I'm just thinking right now. So, a premeditated crime involves careful planning and research before it happens. This is all via Google. It states, if you watch a lot of TV crime dramas, you might be familiar with the term premeditated murder. This means that the murderer didn't just lose his temper and kill someone in the moment. Instead, he went after a specific person on purpose. Now, do I think Jim Jones was a racist? My answer is hell yes. I mean, what goes into the mind of a massacre such as this, it's an intricate thing to take this amount of people from this place, from point A, bring them to point B with the intent to kill them. Nobody else knows what this guy was up to but him. And with the power influence of Jim Jones. Man. This is really interesting, right? I'm looking at the legal terms of the criminal law statutes, but I digress. Murder and mass suicide. On November 18th, 1978, Leo J. Ryan, a congressman from California, toured Jonestown with a television crew in tow. He invited anyone who wanted to leave the compound to come with him, but his rescue operation did not go as planned. That afternoon, Ryan, some Leaving People's Temple members, and the rest of the visitors were driven to an airport strip in Port Katuma. They were attacked by People's Temple gunmen sent by Jones. By the time the shooting stopped, there were 5 people dead, including Congressman Ryan, NBC correspondent Don Harris, NBC cameraman Bob Brown, and San Francisco Examiner photographer Craig Robinson. One of the defectors, Patricia Parks, was also killed. 2 more defectors were seriously wounded, shot by Larry Layton, brother of ex-People's Temple member Debbie Layton Blakely, who joined the group under the pretense of wanting to leave. Wow. This is all so interesting. So interesting. Wow. Yikes. Now I'm gonna just put my mind on the situation and see what I would do now. You're a congressman. Why would you? I'm guessing Leo J. Ryan, the congressman, he didn't think, he was probably under influence that the situation wasn't what it was. Obviously, because he didn't go with any security. Man. Yikes. I would have went with security. I'm going into another domain where this suspected, there were, I think, already rumors of people, there were people talking about members being held captive. So it's why not bring security with you? Why not bring armed people with you? Man. Meanwhile, back at Jonestown, Jones launched what he called his revolutionary suicide campaign. Cyanide and Valium were mixed into a batch of powdered drink mix to make a toxic punch, and cups of this lethal beverage were distributed to the members. The first to die were the children, and those who refused to drink were forced to by armed guards. In all, more than 900 people died at Jonestown. 276 of them were children. Jones, on the other hand, chose a different way out. Surrounded by his inner circle, he either shot himself or was shot in the head. He was later found on the floor of the Jonestown Pavilion on the camp's main gathering area with his wife Marceline Nurse, Annie Moore, and other top group members. Interesting. Okay, so I thought the conspiracy was that he fled after this, but I see that he got wounded somehow. Okay. It's all interesting. Yeah, it's such a sad thing. I just want to reiterate that this man very powerful guy with this influence, man. All right, you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna just show you guys his chart, and I'm going to make a statement about part 2, what I would include in part 2. Yeah. So let me show you Jim Jones' natal chart. What I am also planning on doing as well is, for myself, is going to be important for me, because astrology is something that I want to be fortunate enough to teach. I think this science is kind of, how to explain it? It's a very honorable science and a very favorable science. In essence, it's the kind of science that could come up in a conversation. It could easily come up in a conversation, and it could easily be a favorite topic, a favorite subject. It can even be the topic of any life-giving type of thing, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. It's a very interesting subject that I think fortunate people like myself are into and, are studying. So I personally, I'm going to do everything. It's going to be important for me. I'm going to do everything from all the planets. I want to decode to you guys what the planetary energies mean, what they're about, and the zodiac signs as well. I want to also display what the zodiac signs mean and the energetics that come to play. Kind of like a deeper review of all the zodiac signs and a deeper review of the planets. And I got to do my research. As you guys know, or you don't know, I am a Cancer. And I really obviously know about my zodiac energies that I come to play with. But it's funny, I thought, and probably most people might think, that we have only one zodiac sign. But I'm going to save this whole conversation. I'm going to digress and save this whole conversation for another video. Yeah. So, man, such a horrific thing. But you're gonna keep going, man. Alright, so I'm wondering if I should make this in another video. Part 2. I'm thinking. You know what? I am going to wrap part 1 up. I'm about to do part 2 right now. Reason being, I want to kind of cut this one short. It's already 53 minutes. And I want to make this part 1. So you guys, there's definitely way more to come. But I want to wrap this one up. So yes, part 2, I'm going to be discussing Jim Jones' North Node and his South Node. So it's Kev from Novelty TV. I'm signing out. They don't.